very large, taking up many of the city blocks. Once leaving the Commons, they proceeded on 3rd Street and up Hennepin Avenue until they hit right here, which is the Target Center. So right now, a lot of the crowd is just filling into Target Center. And as you know, the weather, it is cold, but that didn't stop Minnesotans. We'll show you the stage right here. The Minnesota 5051 organization was who posted a post on social media organizing this. The march started again at US Bank Stadium, then proceeded on 3rd Street up Hennepin Avenue, and now here we are at the Target Center. Now, as I step back into the frame here, according to Minnesota 5051, about 19,000 individuals can fit right here inside of the Target Center, and we're hearing that it was sold out. This part of the event right here, where the march proceeded and ended to, was sold out, and actually they expected about 50,000 folks to be at the march today. So put that into perspective, 50,000 at the march, and then only 19,000 of those being able to fit in the arena right here. We're unsure who's supposed to speak on the stage behind us. As you can hear, the energy is very loud. There's a lot of unity here. As we were marching, we heard a lot of different chants, as we've heard all along, especially through Operation Metro Surge. The main one that stuck with me were folks saying "ICE out." That is what they are calling today, and you could hear them chanting that as well. As I go through a little more of my notes here, Minnesota 5051 being the organizer, is known to organize a lot of protests all across the state. They've been doing so, as I simply have been covering, outside of the Whipple building since even Secretary Kristi Noem was here in our state back in October, and when she told WCCO, amongst other media members, that more ICE agents would be coming to Minnesota. So that's when a lot of people are wondering now, how did we get here? And they were even chanting reasons that why they think folks that the whole spotlight is on Minnesota. So as we backtrack to today, being January 23rd, back in late October, Secretary Kristi Noem was here in Minneapolis and told media members that more ICE agents were being sent to Minnesota. She didn't say when, nobody knew how many as well, but all we simply knew back then were that more ICE agents were going to be sent to Minnesota. So we come in December, where Operation Metro Surge was launched, actually just right before December. I believe it was November 27th or 28th, right after Thanksgiving and right before December started. Operation Metro Surge, as you know, the agency's large immigration enforcement campaign, where they said they are going to be sending more agents to Minnesota. So we're in December, and there were more ICE sightings around our area, and 2026 begins, and the first day, that Monday of 2026 began. As I look at my calendar right here, we're looking at January 5th. CBS News was able to confirm that on January 4th, the day right before Secretary Noem said 2,000 agents under the DHS umbrella were going to be sent here. So what we've observed since was just a few days later, on Wednesday the 7th, the incident with Renee Good dying in Minneapolis and the ICE agent there. And now we are just 2 weeks from that, a little more, and you see the protesting and activism continues. I want to mention, we have seen both sides today out on the streets of downtown Minneapolis. There was a whole congregation that I didn't witness, but one of my colleagues witnessed, of folks that were there praising ICE and the U.S. Department of Homeland Security and all of their efforts here. And then obviously the biggest show was those against the agency. I did speak with a teacher today. She came out because she said that her students are afraid. We are going to have her interview and more up at WCCO at 4. This event right here is still filling in. Actually, I'm going to step out of the frame here so we can kind of flip to see, because you're looking at the stage right now, but if you look over here, Will, you can see the arena just filling up more and more. A few things that we noticed right here, a lot of people with signs that say Ice Out Minnesota. That's also what our media badges say. So that's what the event is saying. And as I read the badge right here, it says Ice Out of Minnesota, a day of truth and freedom. No work, no school, and no shopping. So as we bring up the things that are closed, one is Minneapolis Public Schools. They are closed today for a teacher work day. In addition to that, if you are tuning in outside of the city, if you're tuning out in outside of the state, we know that the world global spotlight is on Minnesota right now. A lot of businesses across this area saying that they are either going to be closed today or open. A lot on social media have posted their reasons for making the decision. They are calling today, again, a general strike, Ice Out Minnesota. And some businesses say that they must stay open because it's a really tough time of year for them. But they also stand in solidarity with a lot of these folks right here. But then you have plenty of bars and businesses that have closed today, being on a Friday, because they want to show in that sense that they're siding with these folks here. So we're guessing a lot of folks right here, off work, off school, given it's a Friday, and a lot of businesses around the state, around the area are closed. As we came here to the arena, we're walking up Hennepin, volunteers starting ahead to get ahead of the game of the whole march and closing a lot of the roads too. I don't want to say that I didn't witness law enforcement, because we definitely did. Minneapolis police were nearby observing. Obviously they were aware of the event. I spoke with one on the side that was just kind of monitoring things, but the ones who were closing the streets of downtown Minneapolis were volunteers in vests. We have seen, again, Minnesota 5051 kind of organizing. Actually, we see a volunteer right here in a vest that I'll show you right up there, as our photojournalist Will kind of shows you right there. So if you see those holographic vests right there, I don't know if you can see right there, Will, right up those stairs right there. Those are a lot of the volunteers of these protests, of these events that are kind of organizing. And those folks were the ones that were closing the streets as it was a Friday in downtown Minneapolis. So we have a lot of this video, a lot of people that we have spoken to coming up on WCCO at 4. We're going to be right smack dab here in the arena on WCCO at 5. We're unsure of how long this is going to go. We're unsure of who is going to be speaking. We're unsure of when exactly it is going to start. The march began at 2 p.m., again near US Bank Stadium, proceeded all the way down here on, that was 3rd Street, then up Hennepin Avenue, ended up landing right here in the cold at Target Center, and now the arena continues to fill up. So we're unsure if maybe it starts at 4 or whatnot. But again, the arena holds 19,000 according to the organization Minnesota 5051, who is the organizer of this event, and they were expecting about 50,000 today to march in downtown Minneapolis. So you can put the math there. Not everybody that was at the march is going to be able to fit in here. It was peaceful. I do want to mention that. Along the march, it was very peaceful. And then coming into the arena right here, you did need to have a ticket, which was sold out, and then you did need to go through security as well. As I wrap up here, again, I want to pitch you to WCCO coming up at 4, 5, and 6. We're going to have a lot more details of what this event looked like. We are hearing from folks all across the state that said this business is closed, that business is closed. We know, again, that Minneapolis Public Schools were closed today for a teacher workday, and I'm going to step out of the frame so you can just see the arena continue to fill up, and tune in for more information coming up on WCCO at 4.